Hello everyone, welcome to our lesson on English writing where we will be looking at sentence structure. What is the objective of our lesson today? We will be able to write structured and complete simple sentences to express ourselves. The meaning of structured and complete we will look into more detail in this lesson. To express ourselves means that people can understand what we are trying to say or write. So what will we use from this week? We will use the present tense, past tense and continuous tenses that we have learned in our grammar class. What is a complete sentence? A complete sentence has a noun or a pronoun, a verb, and it tells the complete meaning or idea of the sentence. Let us start with an example. I am eating. Is this a complete sentence? Let us check. Does this have a noun or a pronoun? Yes, it has. I is a pronoun. Does this have a verb? Yes, it has. Am eating is a verb in the present continuous tense. Does this complete the idea? What do you think? What am I eating? Do you want to ask me, what am I eating? Are you wondering, what am I eating? This means that you are not getting a complete idea of what I am eating. So the sentence is not complete. But what if we add a chocolate and the sentence becomes, I am eating a chocolate? Does that give you more meaning to the sentence? This is now a complete sentence. Let us look at another example. Mohan sneezed. Is this a complete sentence? Let us check. Does this have a noun or a pronoun? Yes, it has. Mohan is a noun. Does this have a verb? Yes, it has. Sneezed is a verb. It is the past tense of sneeze. Next, does this complete the idea? What do you think? Can you get the full meaning of the sentence? When I say Mohan sneezed, you can understand that Mohan just sneezed. We don't need to add anything more to it. So, it completes the idea. That is why Mohan sneezed is a complete sentence. One more example. The dog jumped. Is this a complete sentence? It has a noun, which is the dog. Does it have a verb? Jumped is a verb. It is the past tense of jump. Does this complete the idea? What do you think? We have seen dogs jumping, isn't it? So the dog jumped does let us know what is happening there. So we can say that the meaning of the sentence is complete. So the dog jumped can be a complete sentence. But we can always make it better. What if we add to catch the ball? The dog jumped to catch the ball. That makes the sentence very complete, doesn't it? We can also say the dog jumped over the fence. That also makes the sentence complete. So you can see that even though the dog jumped can be said as a complete sentence, we get a better sentence by adding exactly what the dog is doing when it is jumping. Let's look at one final example. The shop sells many items, cold drinks and chocolates. There are two sentences which we will be checking. The first one, the shop sells many items. Is this a complete sentence? We have shop, which is a noun. Do we have a verb? Sells is a verb. Do we have a complete idea? If we just say shop sells, then it does not give a complete idea. We do not know what the shop is selling. But if we add the many items, then it becomes a complete sentence because we get the full meaning of the sentence, that the shop sells many items. Let us look at the next sentence. Does this have a noun? Yes, cold drinks and chocolates are nouns. Does this have a verb? Does this? No, it does not. So, do we get a complete meaning out of this sentence? No, we don't. So, cold drinks and chocolates is not a complete sentence. Next, we'll look at something called a subject. What is a subject? Subject is the noun or pronoun who is doing the action. So who is the noun or pronoun doing the action in our examples? I am eating chocolate. So I am the person who is doing the action. So I am a subject. Mohan sneezed. Mohan is doing the action. So Mohan is the subject. The dog jumped. Who is doing the action? The dog. So the dog is the subject. And in the last one, the shop sells many items. Who is doing the action? The shop. So the shop is the subject. Next, we will look at the structure of a sentence. This was also one of the objectives in our lesson today. So how do we structure a sentence? We start with the subject. What happens after the subject? We have the action or the verb the subject is doing. Then we have the part which completes the idea of the sentence. And finally, we add a full stop. So this is how the structure of a simple sentence will look like. It will start with the subject. After that, we will have the action or the verb in the correct tense. Then we will add the part which completes the idea. And then finally, we will have a full stop to complete the sentence. So let us look at some examples. The building is old. So here the building is the subject, is the verb, and finally the old which completes the idea. We end the sentence with a full stop. Bagheera was a black panther. Here Bagheera is the subject, was is the verb, Black Panther completes the sentence, and finally we have the full stop. You do not like the taste of milk. Here you is the subject, do not like is the verb, and finally the taste of milk completes the idea, and we complete the sentence with a full stop. My mother makes delicious cakes. Here my mother is the subject, makes is the verb, and finally we complete the sentence with delicious cakes, and we end the sentence with a full stop. So this is the structure of a sentence. Finally, what have we learned in class today? We learned about complete sentences. How do we make complete sentences? We have a noun or a pronoun, we have a verb, and we have something that completes the idea. What was the second thing we learned? We learned about the subject. This is the noun or the pronoun who is doing the action. And finally, what did we learn? We learned about the structure of a sentence. So what makes the structure of a sentence? We have a subject. This is followed by the verb or the action. This then follows by a part of the sentence which completes the idea. And finally, we put a full stop. So this is in summary what we learned in class today. If you are unable to understand any part of the sentence, please watch the video again. Finally, we will do this assessment. I will share the link with you separately.